Hey everyone. Alright, we are about to do a transmission filter change on an 05 or similar Grand Prix with 3.8 liter V6. Mine case non-supercharged, but I believe the supercharged and non-supercharged same transmission anyways. I believe that obviously the V8 has a different one though, so this doesn't necessarily apply to that, but the principles will apply regardless. So it's actually fairly easy to do. Now, first thing I'll tell you right off the bat, this is not a full flush, so I'm not changing the full 10 liters or 10 quarts on there that you required. Instead, I'm just changing the filter. It'll dump probably about 3.5-4 liters, I imagine, and just change that up. The fluid looks pretty good otherwise, but I am going to change the filter along with it. So first thing I want to show you guys is this is the pan itself. So of course you can see here, there's the engine, there's everything. Here's your oil pan right there, and you can tell obviously by the drain right here. And of course, that's your transmission pan filter, well, the pan, and then the filter's inside. So we're going to pop that off now. I'm going to show you guys that in a bit. You can see here all the bolts that go around. So about, I think it's about 20 bolts in total. You just crack all those. Now, don't start loosening them out. Don't pull off one and loosen them all out at a time, because you want to just kind of crack them first, and then start loosening from one side and move your way back. That way, and then once you set your your drain pan there, as you start from one side and slowly loosen out. So you start from one, there's two here, and then you go those, and then you go down. The pan will slowly drop this way and start pouring your fluid into here. I'll show you guys that in a second though, but that's gonna just a heads up. So just start by 10 mil socket, crack your bolts, and then go from there. Give me 1 second, I'll start showing you guys some more. If you want to see what I mean, here's what we're talking about here. All I've done so far, I've taken off 6 bolts from this corner here, which is the driver's side, obviously on this side over here. And so that's the corner going closest to the rear. As you can see, here's the oil pan and everything to give you as a reference point. And I've only taken out 6 bolts, so I've cracked every single bolt, just to give you an idea. Every bolt was cracked, but not loosened. As you can see, I just cracked them. And then I started slowly taking 6 bolts out, which you can see right over here. And you just start off, and I started off with the 2 on this side here, and then I went to the next 2 and the next 2, and the fluid already starts pouring out. It actually looks pretty dark, actually. Probably needed to be done a little while ago, but still, besides that, you know, you start with that, and you go little by little. So of course, the next bolt is right, let's see here, over here. So you take that one out next, and then over on this side, as you can see, you take out that one over there. And as you take out more and more fluid will just drain right out into your pan, and away you go. Now, that's pretty straightforward, so I'm not going to bother waste you guys' time showing you all that. Again, you just pull your bolts out, and then once you drop the pan, there's some extra stuff you got to do. I'll come back and I'll show you guys that in 1 second after the flip. So as you can see here, I've got the pan off. I've already started to kind of clean it up a little bit there. So just to kind of recap from what you guys saw there, I just continued pulling the bolts off one by one, alternating sides, until all the fluid came out. I filled up, just to give you guys an idea, I filled up 1 full drain pan and a bit on the other. There you go, there you can see there. Now, to give you guys a little feel, that's right there, that's where the filter was attached in, and the filter was filled up this whole spot here. So I just grabbed it here and just gently pried it. You just move it. I know I didn't show you guys, but it's easy. Just grab it and gently turn it. And turn and pull and turn and pull. You want to be careful. You don't want to damage anything at the same time. You don't want to, and the main thing also, another thing too, is you don't want to just pull it and pull it hard, because it's filled with fluid. I don't know about you guys, but you're going to get covered, right? You're going to get fluid on yourself, there's no question about it. But at the same time, you want to avoid getting, drenched in it. So actually, pulling it out gently and everything like that little extra step can actually help you from getting drenched. Keep in mind though that up in there is fluid as well, so as soon as you pull that out, that's just going to dump a bunch of fluid, so make sure you have your drain pan set, or you may end up with something like that. Now, at the same time, once I pulled that out, I started cleaning, just clean this up here, clean up around here. I am going to clean some of this, there's a little bit of gunk here, we're going to clean a little bit of that up, get it kind of smoothed off. Just wipe up a little bit in the trans, make sure you get up any metal particles or anything. So I've already done that. As you can see, it's looking pretty good, pretty clean. And now we're going to go and clean out the actual pan itself. Alrighty, pan cleaning time. Alright. So when cleaning the pan, of course, now you see there, obviously I have a brand new gasket, so I took the old one off. You can see here there's buildup, lots of buildup here. You want to clean all that up, right? Get it all clean. You can see it's still filled with fluid. Now let me show you guys something here. Of course, and you can see here, there's the magnet. You pull that off, you can see all the gray, that's all the metal particles and stuff like that. And of course this has a film in there as well. You're going to want to clean all that up. This thing must be shiny and clean, so make sure you have some cleaners and lots of paper towel to go through cleaning this thing, because you want to try to get all that off. You don't want that to recontaminate into the system, so you want to clean all that up. Again, clean off. So key points: get if it's a lot of buildup, a screwdriver. If not, just some cleanser and clean all around the edges. You want to clean up your magnet and clean up inside the pan. Get all the oil out, get all the gunk out, the film out, everything. And then you're going to want to actually look into now putting the filter back in and reinstalling it with the brand new gasket. We'll get to that in a bit. I'm actually going to show you all cleaned up in a second, but I'm going to go clean this up now. One man, one hand, so I'm going to be right back, alright? Alright guys, here we go. Now you can see the finished product. The nice clean pan, as you can see it here. I've cleaned up all the gunk over here. In this case here, I really didn't need to use any screwdrivers or anything. It was all just surface gunk. Some staining, of course, has gone on there, but can't really help that. But I got all the gunk off. As you see, I cleaned up the inside of the pan. Looks nice and clean and shiny and new. Couple things to know with here. You can use a simple cleaning solution, simple green, anything like that. If you don't have any of that stuff, you go to your local parts store and you don't have, ask your parts guy. He should be able to give you a good recommendation for a good cleaner. I mean, anything really works, but you want something that's not too abrasive or corrosive or anything that will get into that. You don't want any contaminants getting your transmission, or guess what, you'll be doing a new transmission. On top of that too, do not use any wire brushes or anything like that on this. I cannot stress that enough. Part of it is if you use a wire brush to try and clean up, especially if you have heavy gunk. Use a wire brush or anything, it could break off particles. If you don't clean that up enough, or it leaves it rough, you put it in and those particles will end up in your transmission. It's the little things that count. Just the cleaning solution, some paper towels or rags. Paper towels, of course, not exactly environmentally friendly, and you will go through a lot of these, so keep that in mind too. So whatever you have available, though, paper towels or rags, use. You clean all that up. Make sure the magnet's clean, everything looks good and shiny, and it's all cleaned up, nothing inside. Once that's done, you're a little bit more than halfway there. All that's left now is putting the filter, which I'll show you guys in just a moment, putting the new filter, putting your gasket on, and then putting the pan up, and then away you go. Now, some people, I'll tell you right off the bat, some people will say when you're putting a gasket on to use a little silicone, no like silicone cement or anything like that, none of the hard stuff, just a light silicone on there. You could do that if you want. I've done a few of these and never had to. But it certainly wouldn't hurt to put some on, right? So keep that in mind. It makes your life easier, especially when you put the gasket on. It'll help hold it in place. So keep that in mind as a helpful tip as well. But I'm going to go now and show you putting that new filter. Alright guys, so we're just getting ready to put the gasket in, or the filter in, sorry, which I'll show you is right here. And we encountered a problem, and I'll kind of go in. I know it's kind of a common problem. I didn't think it would be in this case, but it was here. See this here, this gasket? It's a metal gasket with a rubber on the inside of it. And that actually got stuck up in here, this hole right here, right? So as you can see, even I had to work it a bit to get it out there. I mean, work it a lot, and hopefully I didn't do too much damage. I cleaned it up. It's just surface stuff, nothing too bad, but still, it was a pain to get out. I had to use, what I did is I used a snips to create like a little notch in it, and then slowly worked it over with a screwdriver. And then I used this bad boy right over here to pull it out once I had like a notch created. Now, if you guys have any suggestions, if any of you there or anyone watching this video has a suggestion on how to pull it out, let me know if you have any good ideas or anything. I found that to be a pain, and I've done a couple, I haven't done particularly a Grand Prix transmission, but I've done some of these in the past, and it never was as bad as this one. This one took quite some time. I'd say that already 2/3 of the job was trying to get that little piece out of what would be a fairly easy change. So something to keep in mind when if you guys do decide to do this, that was a bit of a pain to get that gasket out, but I did get it out there and everything looks good. It's cleaned up and everything. We're gonna put the new filter in now. Here, actually we'll do that right now with you guys here. So you just grab your new filter, lined it up with the hole, and then we push it out. This, because I need two hands and one is recording, I'm gonna let you guys go there, but that's just showed you guys so you get a feel of it. Alright guys, so there you go, the new filter is in. One thing to keep in mind, just to show you guys, when you guys put this in here, make sure to take some of the transmission fluid. You can just use some of the old one, that's fine, and lubricate on the inside of the hole, the hole that just showed you guys. Make sure to lubricate in there and lubricate the gasket itself. and then put it in, and there you go. You're all set. So now it's just all in the reverse. Now you just go ahead, grab your pan, throw your, make sure, of course, if there's any fluid that last will run off, clean all that up, get that all cleaned up, ready to go. Then you put your pan back on with your gasket, put your bolts in, tighten them up. No more than 10 to 14 pound-feet of torque. I cannot stress that enough. You don't want any brakes or anything like that in there. So 12 to 14 pound-feet at the most. Once you get that all bolted up, fill with fluid and away you go. And that's all set. So I'm going to kind of leave it at that with you guys. I think that covers everything there. It's a job that, aside from this, I'll be honest, aside from this here, that one gasket, this actually was not a terribly hard job to do. You just jack up your car, pull off the pan exactly as I showed you. You know, start off on one end. That end is the good end. And, you know, just remove bolts. Sorry, this is the end. That's the good end. My apologies. And then you just pull the bolts off 2 at a time all the way around to get all the fluid out. Once all the fluid is out of there, and you know, if you need a bigger catch, make sure to get a bigger catch, but I have 2, so I just use both of those. Once that's out, clean everything up, pull out your filter, pull that stupid pain in the butt, pain in the ass, cursing, all sorts of things, that gasket right over there. Put the new filtering gasket in, put your new pan on with your new gasket, and fill up with fluid, and away you go. And that should be everything. Alright guys? So that's it from me. Make sure to check out any other videos. If you have anything you want me to let me know. I'll see if I can do it for you guys. Do have some other videos coming up soon, maybe even putting in a brand new air intake, so we'll see. But aside from that, I'll see you guys around. Leave comments, let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And again, if you have any tips or anything, I'm always open to suggestions, so make sure to leave that, alright? Alright, this is Nexus for TMPG. Take care, have a good one.